We have multiple benchmarks for measuring various aspects of our health. We can get an eye exam if we want to see how our vision is. We can have our thyroid checked if we want to know what's going on with our metabolism. But one benchmark that we have failed to recognize time and time again is sex drive and libido, which is directly linked to vitality. So something crazy is that a study showed that our grandparents were having more sex at our age than we are today. And a 2015 study revealed that 60% of women were dissatisfied with their sex life. And this is something we need to bring attention to, and I really want to open up a conversation about. I know I, like many women, feel guilty. I felt guilty for not having a sex drive, not being interested. And there was a point when I was on birth control where I literally thought I could go the rest of my life without having sex. I don't care. That's how uninterested I was. And this isn't natural. This isn't normal because evolution encourages us to reproduce. And it does that by spiking our testosterone at various points in the month, especially around ovulation, to encourage us to have sex and increase the likelihood of sustaining our species. So not having a sex drive is obviously a problem for that reason, but also there are so many benefits to sex and orgasms that I want to talk about today. And then I want to get into some of the reasons why women are experiencing low sex drive. So let's start with oxytocin. This is our feel-good neurotransmitter you've probably heard about. We experience a little bit of oxytocin release during exercise, but we experience the most oxytocin release during sex. And this really helps you feel close to your partner, bonded, safe, secure. And then it really offsets a lot of cortisol production, so helping to reduce stress. Next, sex boosts infection fighting powers by 30%, so helping keep our immune system strong, keeping us healthy. Sex also helps us to regulate our feminine cycles. So there are 4 phases in our 28-day cycle, and the more consistent they are, the better, the more balanced our hormones are. And it's really helpful if you are both trying to avoid unplanned pregnancy or trying to conceive with your partner to have consistency around that time of ovulation so that you are able to predict when you are fertile and when you are not. So very important for that reason. More sex increases the likelihood of reproducing, not for the obvious reasons, but because it really helps us to keep our basal body temperature in the range that it needs to be in during ovulation in order for the sperm and the egg to make that magic happen. So women who are having sex more frequently were getting in this range about 90% of the time compared to women who weren't having sex as frequently. So if you are trying to have a child, then this is very important. Instead of just waiting for that 1-2 day window out of the month, trying to be more consistent throughout the weeks can help. Another 2013 study revealed that sex helps to alleviate headaches and cramping. And migraine sufferers experienced 60% improvement in their migraine strength. And I know for migraine sufferers, they're always looking for a solution. Medications don't seem to cut it. It's frustrating not knowing when these migraines are going to crop up, how long they're going to stick around, and they're painful. And so next time, maybe instead of reaching for that ibuprofen if you're experiencing migraine, or that Midol if you're experiencing some cramps, maybe just hop into bed and give that a try. It might not seem the most appealing, but maybe you can make some efforts leading up to it to help get you in the mood and get your mind off of your mind. Another great benefit is it promotes neurogenesis. So it really just helps with overall brain performance, helping with our memory, helping with our learning, helping with our recognition when we are more sexually active, probably because of those neurotransmitters. And it also really helps to quiet the amygdala, which is the primal portion of our brain that is really responsible for anxiety and fear and all of those primal instinctual urges. Also like impulsivity, that's really common today, and that's because we are amygdala dominant. And so sex is helping to kind of offset that imbalance and create a lot of good things up there. And who doesn't want that? So reduction in anxiety, improvements in memory, all good things. And there was also a study that revealed that women who had sex 3 times a week or more looked 10 times younger than women who are having sex twice a week or less. So 3 times more, 3 is really that magic number, I guess. And, you know, for some women that might seem super unrealistic right now. For a lot of people, maybe that's no problem at all. But just some interesting information I thought I would share. Very much linked to that vitality I mentioned at the beginning, that youthfulness, that liveliness. That's really what vitality is. So when you see older people who are still at the gym, still going, still active, still, you know, full of excitement for life, that's really the epitome of vitality. So one more study, a 2010 study, revealed that men having sex twice a week had a 50% reduced risk of cardiovascular disease, which is a major killer in our society today. So you can help yourself, you can help your partner by getting in the sheets a little more often. I know, again, easier said than done if you were like me, if you're on hormonal birth control, which it does a lot of things to really stifle our libido. And one thing it does is, I know I was put on it for non-hormonal, or non-contraceptive purposes to manage my PCOS. And what it does is that birth control really shuts down your testosterone production, so lowering your testosterone levels. And we need testosterone as women for a lot of reasons. We need it to build lean muscle and get rid of unnecessary fat. And we also need it for that healthy libido. And something else that's really interesting is that when that testosterone drops off because of hormonal birth control, that actually causes our clitoris to reduce in size by about 20%. We're not getting as much blood flow there. And for that reason, you know, maybe that's why those 60% of women weren't as satisfied with their sex life as they could be. It's harder to reach orgasm when you are on hormonal birth control if it is the kind that is impacting your testosterone levels in that way. So I want you ladies to know that it is not you. I thought, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why can everyone else have orgasms, and why is everyone else in the mood all the time, and I just feel like flat, and it's not as enjoyable for me. So it doesn't encourage you to want to do it again if you're always the giver and never really the receiver. And so I think this is important information that I wish I'd known when I was on birth control. So for that reason, you know, the sex isn't as pleasurable. We're not getting in the mood as often because of those lower testosterone levels. This is also why women might hold on to a little extra weight when they're on hormonal birth control. And then estrogen dominance is incredibly common from a lot of the inputs we're getting, chemical inputs from products. We get synthetic estrogen from things like plastics and also soy. And so our estrogen levels are really up here, and that causes even more of a dip in our testosterone, offsetting that testosterone production. So you can see how this can be a bit of a slippery slope. And not only that, but hormonal birth control does cause our liver to produce more sex hormone binding globulin. And it does just that. It binds to our sex hormones and it renders them inactive. So even if you are producing the appropriate amount of testosterone, if your liver is producing this other hormone that's latching onto that, then you're not able to get that and get those benefits. So these are things to know. And something that is not related to hormonal birth control is chronic stress. So from an evolutionary perspective, our body wouldn't want to encourage us to reproduce, to carry a child, if there was a threat present. And our body and our mind can't differentiate between, you know, an actual real threat of, your life is at risk, someone's coming at you with a knife, and a work deadline. So your body can't differentiate between the two, and so it's going to try to protect you either way by shutting down your reproductive system as well as your digestive system. And so offsetting that chronic stress, managing that stress, it's talked about often. It's not taken as seriously as I believe it should be. So this is something to, consider incorporating into your life, ways to manage that stress more effectively. Another one too that is related to the birth control, but also just our current modern environment, is nutrient deficiencies. So today, because of soil quality, because of food quality, storage techniques, things like that, we're not getting the same amount of nutrients from our food. And then also many medications cause nutrient deficiencies like birth control. And so we might be consuming them, but we're not able to absorb them and utilize them properly. So this is a big one. B vitamins are often depleted by the pill. Zinc, which is really important for your skin health, is often depleted by the pill. And so these can definitely directly affect your libido and all of that, but also your thyroid and lots of other areas. So it's important to know this if you're on hormonal birth control. And once I got off birth control, I was supporting my body with the proper nutrients and foods and healing my gut so I could absorb all of those good nutrients. Then considering supplements and those sort of things can be absolutely huge before transitioning off the pill, so that you don't experience a ton of those unpleasant symptoms that maybe caused you to get on birth control in the first place. So we got to correct the damage that the pill has done and really heal a lot of the disarray that it caused before getting off the pill. But I want you ladies to know, again, that you are not alone in this. So many women are suffering just silently, thinking something's wrong with them. But I promise you it is hormonal, and sometimes it is lifestyle related. If you've had trauma in your past, of course, those are things to work through. But if you're wondering just why you have no libido, then this could be your culprit. So one way to really help restore that, if you're not quite ready to take that leap and get off birth control, is to just start stoking your own fire, if you know what I mean. So just creating more pleasure in your life in general. So lighting candles while you read, taking a bath, getting a massage, getting a massage table for you and your partner. Any way to increase pleasure in your life and offset that stress can really help you kind of switch into that mood. And also just communication. Your partner is not a mind reader, and they don't know what you want unless you tell them. So that is huge as well. Overcoming some body image issues, helping support your health so you're feeling good, and all these things can really help restore that libido and sex drive and have all those benefits that I just talked about. So if you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out. I would love to chat and answer any questions at all. Thank you guys so much for listening.